Looks like we're going
to another
live.
edition of Ask Michael Ehline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. And I am California and Texas attorney Michael Ehline, and I'm here today to talk about a homeless advocate who documents her interactions with police. So her name is Regan Benson. She's a little bit different than your typical CopWatcher auditor, but she has to have a strong knowledge and understanding of the First Amendment. And I also have BZWatchdog, former Marine, here with me, who's also a CopWatcher, but he sort of uses more of an indirect approach when he CopWatches. And I'm going to try and figure out what's going on here. So I want to introduce Regan, but there's all this feedback on her mic. But I'm going to go ahead and unclick her mic.
I think she said she's going to be right back, man. She put her finger up. So
hold on. So I don't hear any feedback from her. Okay. So anyways, Regan's here, but as always, right, because Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. She had some problems with her audio. Her mic has got all this feedback coming on. But I'm going to look over into the sidebar because I want to try to be more like Chili and give my audience a little recognition here. So let's see over here. Let's OTVO. Thank you for joining us again, man. And thank you, Brick Jonesy. And we're going to give you a quick update on Chili, too, after I thank everyone for showing up. Thank you, Chuck from
Hey, I think I got timed out.
Thank you, Ryan Paul, for showing up and being really perniciously mean. And thank you, Creators Trust, OTVO. Give me a bunch of ones if you missed Chili. And I'm going to go ahead and really quick give you an update about what's going on with Chili's case. So Chili, my understanding is there was going to be a hearing today for his bail to get out, like habeas corpus federal type proceedings. And it was summarily denied the day before by the federal court. So that is off the table. And it looks like, unless a miracle occurs, Chili's going to be in there for a while. So we know that he was taken out of that sort of lockdown cell where you're in there with crazy people, a bunch of people with the light on all the time, and put into general pop, but he's being denied his commissary privileges. Last time I saw him, looked like he was growing a beard and he was leaning out quite a bit. So he's getting pretty lean. And because he used to work out all the time. And so that's the update. Okay. So everybody pray for him. And there is a link to donate money to him. If Let's OTVO could put the link in there, that will help him with his legal case. And I want to see if I can get Regan working again here. Regan, can you talk?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So
I don't know what happened.
I want to introduce Regan. So Regan, I introduced you as someone having technical problems who is a homeless advocate with a strong knowledge of the First Amendment, because you have to use that to document your interactions with police and the public and whatnot. And I wanted you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, what state you operate or city you operate out of. If there's more than one, tell us, and just what you do and how long you've been doing it, a little bit about yourself, if you could.
Yeah, awesome. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, because I always like to talk shop. So it's good when there's more awareness around the issues. And the issue that I work pretty diligently on is homelessness. I think it's a very serious issue. I think that a nation truly defines itself by how it treats its weakest, poorest, and sickest in what we're going to tolerate from government intervention, if you will, or the use of force to get people to comply to do things that they think they should be doing, living a certain way that the government thinks you should be living. If we can't pull together as a society and stand up in a person's weakest time in their life, we're crumbling. And I'm going to be really honest, we're crumbling. And so the more I see the injustices with what goes on out on the streets with the homeless community in the Denver metro area, I'm in Colorado. I'm a native to Colorado. and I work primarily in the Denver area. I'm spending a lot of time focusing on Inglewood, Colorado right now, but most of my work originated in Denver with building relationships with homeless folks. It's my goal to give them a hand up. That's truly what a nonprofit should be doing, and that's what I have. I have a registered 501c3 that's in excellent standing with the state.
Tell us the name of your nonprofit.
It is Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition.
Okay.
And currently, right now, I'm not soliciting donations, and that is because I donate my time. All donations go to actual tangible items or actions that we do for folks. I am successful in connecting folks with government services. My number one goal is to get people off of government, get away from government, get out on your own, do this if you can. But look, we have a social safety net system, and we've said as a nation, we need this for people who can't. There are those who won't and those who can't. And I want to be part of the camp that says, yeah, this person needs help and I want to contribute. But guess what? We've turned all this over to government. And look at the results. Homelessness is increasing, use of force is increasing, and people become even more dependent on government every time we ask them to fix a social ill. So we know how that goes. So I am not partnering with government in my day-to-day operations of running my nonprofit. That is a big fat no. I'm cordial and I work with people, but what I do not tolerate is the state coming into my business and telling me you're going to do it this way. And if you don't, we're going to use force on you. So you won't find my nonprofit trying to get government grants. I don't play. All our donation dollars are private dollars. And we do a lot of things like help people furnish their apartments if they get housed. And I've got wonderful donors across the entire country, some from the UK. We've got a very nice following, and we do good work for a small nonprofit. I do the bulk of it. Volunteers are hard to get. Working with the homeless population is polarizing. It's scary sometimes. People don't understand addiction. These things are real, and they're going to continue to increase across the country. So if people want to be part of that solution, quit relying on government. So that's a little bit about who I am, what I do. I've had my channel since 2011. I've always had interest in always keeping a camera on the cops. I don't care if I'm helping homeless folks or if I'm driving down the street. You see a cop having an interaction with somebody, film it, because you might save their lives. Because for those of us that are in tune with how policing is going in this country, I count my blessings, truly, that I make it home every night when I've had a day out there with interaction with the police. So
there's a lot of people who agree with you out there.
There are. And it's, I don't know. We're in a weird time. We're in weird times. And that's why I've taken a step back from the direct street outreach of the work. You cannot help people if you will not build relationships with them. You don't show up, you don't allow somebody to show up in your life and say, hey, I think what you're doing here isn't working, and I think you need to do it a different way. And you open your arms and go, okay. Nobody does that. But there's some misinterpretation that people feel entitled to go out and interject into people's lives that are living out on the streets and say, hey, you want better. You don't want this. Because that might not be true. And you have to build relationships with people. And that is something that government has zero interest in. So all this misconception about there being all these services in the world that taxpayers are paying for. Yeah, taxpayers are paying for a lot, and they're not getting the services. So drug addiction,
That's true.
People think you can just walk into some rehab and go, hey, I need help. I'm here. Doesn't work that way, people. But keyboard warriors galore get on the damn interwebs and know everything about homeless people just being drug addicts and wanting to live that way. We're in deep shit. We are in serious trouble in this country.
I think you're right. I see it too, happening all over the place. Hey, but I got a question for you. Isn't it kind of hard to work out of a jail cell?
Yeah.
This is where they want me. My fans love it. Well, let's see. How many times have I been to jail in the past 2 years? Like 5 or 6 now.
She's got more time. She's got more time locked up than Chili DeCastro.
I was talking about your the background you have on the screen,
Right.
but still.
Sometimes I change it. I should change it up a little
Funny.
bit.
You know, I love it. Okay, so
Reporting from my jail cell.
So I just want to share something with you really quick about. So when my dad was growing up, I'm from California, Southern California originally, and the 22 freeway was under construction. And when my dad was growing up, everybody drag raced. It was like Chevy, Ford, and Mopar. That was the thing. And Mopar was the rich kids, but Chevys, if you put a Ford rear end on it, the 327 Chevy was the motor you wanted because it had cheap parts and you could build the crap out of it. So they would build these cars and they would go down on the 22 freeway and drag race, and the local cops would come and watch them drag race and hang out with them, get to know them. And all the kids knew the local law enforcement. So everything you said, that's how it was. They had like real community policing where they knew the local kids, and it just was different. There was respect, and the cops were peace officers. They weren't out there trying to make busts and, raise revenue or whatever. It was just different. And I just wondered, if you had anything to say about that. Oh my gosh, how cute. Look at that doggy. What's your doggy's name?
This is Slabby. And Slabby comes from the slabs of California. She lived homeless out here on the streets in Denver with her owner. And he unfortunately had a stroke living in his vehicle. And so little Miss Slabby and I had already built a relationship, and she needed somewhere to come live. So she's been with us for almost 2 years.
That's
yeah, great little Chihuahua. But yes, as far as community policing, I just
what a cute
there's
dog.
no such thing anymore. There's no such thing anymore. Community policing is now defined as going to the park and rounding up all the children to teach them that cops are their friends. And to teach parents, look, we love your children. We're going to take good care of your children, but you just have to trust us. That's what community policing is.
Yeah, great to call them until you actually do.
Hey, everybody, I want to interrupt you really quick. So the American Texan, you see him there. He says 383 stroker. So he's a retired law enforcement officer. He's going to be on our show on Friday for a really quick session where we just talk really quick about Chili's arrest and his observations of how law enforcement in the courts from his perspective would handle a case like that. So I thought that was really cool. And let me just see here. So listen, guys, we're already 13 minutes in, and I know y'all get super bored after, even less than an hour. So I have 3 videos queued up, and I'm going to have Regan just tell me when to stop, when to go, where to put the numbers. I'm going to be sort of the guy in the background who's doing all the special effects, and she's going to sort of tell us where to go. And then BZWatchdog and me and her will sort of talk about what happened in these videos and why they're significant to this conversation today. And it's really, our conversation is really about how the balance between the First Amendment and being able for the law enforcement to do their job, whatever that might be, and still be safe and whatnot, and how that balancing test works out when you have homeless people and people like that who may have mental illness. And a lot of times they get targeted and they're sort of treated poorly because they're kind of crazy. And it's sort of natural for people to treat people like that bad, unfortunately. So I get it. But it's going to be real interesting, and we'll be able to have that conversation. But I wanted to go ahead and just really quick queue up this video. So it says, let me get this off the screen really quick. Boom. Okay, this first video is a very defensive Denver PD Sergeant Brian O'Neill. So do you want me to start playing this from the very beginning?
Well, yeah, and it's only a 3-minute video. This sets the premise. This gives you all you need to know about Brian O'Neill and his fragile ego.
Okay.
This is a long-time cop, and he is from family lines of Denver cops. His dad is his grandfather, his brother, or whatever. He's got family all over in DPD. And they just did a big highlight on the O'Neill family in Denver. And this guy's a sergeant, and he had just got transferred over into this area that I work. This location is in Southwest Denver. O'Neill came out of District 6 DPD, which is downtown Denver. That's the heart of Denver. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes down there. And Brian was highlighted in some cop-loving video about shooting a guy in the face. He was awarded for that. He didn't kill the guy, but he laughed about how he survived the shooting. And Brian was so proud of himself. This video is sick. We're not going to talk about it today, but this cop, he's unstable. His new assignment is to come out and harass the homeless. And this guy with him got a special ride along. This guy with the white hair, he's a civilian. He runs a nonprofit called Safer, Cleaner Denver, some BS bullshit, where he goes out and he riles up all the business owners to rally Denver to take out the homeless. And they're just out there poking, committing HIPAA violations by having this civilian ride along, who, by the way, never even followed process. Brian O'Neill just took this guy out without following policy and procedure in the DPD. I did records requests, blah, blah, blah. Well, a lot of my friends out on the streets were calling me going, who is this guy? What the hell are these people doing out here? Why is this guy coming and asking us all these questions? So I went to go find him. And this is me finding Brian O'Neill after already having a couple interactions with him. But you're going to see, watch his face very closely.
Okay, so you tell me when you're ready to go, Regan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, stand by, and here we go. Got it turned up all the way on mine.
You offering any resources today?
Yeah.
So you got a guy over there in a wheelchair. Have you talked to him? Right there.
Yeah.
There's a guy in a wheelchair. Have you talked to him?
I'm aware of that.
Have you talked to him?
No.
Are you gonna?
No.
So you're not offering resources?
I just talked to his son.
So why aren't you offering him any resources?
Just did.
What? To have a toad?
What are you doing to help?
What am I doing to help?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We've never met before, have we? What am I doing to help, O'Neill?
I don't know.
Maybe you ought to
We
ask
haven't
some
met.
of your
How do you know my
command
name?
staff.
How can I help you?
I'm just curious what you guys are doing. Are you offering
We're offering
resources?
outreach. Yeah. That's
What
all
kind-
we're doing today.
Who's this gentleman?
Don't worry about it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're really not offering any resources. Are you with Safe and Clean Denver?
Who are you?
Chance?
Who are you?
My name is Regan.
Oh, Regan.
Yeah,
Nice
what's
to
your
meet you.
name?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah.
How cute. So you're out here harassing people, aren't you?
No.
Then why
Nothing
don't you
but
just come
offering
clean on what
resources.
you're offering?
Housing, addiction services.
So
You
you've
name it.
got housing and addiction
You don't need
resources to
talk him.
offer?
You can talk to me.
Well, I'll talk to whoever the fuck I want to talk to.
Okay.
O'Neill.
Well, we're gonna get in our car and leave. Because you talk to me like that, then we get in our car and leave.
Okay.
If you can't have a civil conversation,
All right. Just proves that you ain't doing shit.
that's right. Ding, ding, ding.
Try to have a civil conversation with
Okay, so really quick, I'm just curious because I am not, I'm not from the Denver area, and I don't really understand the whole homeless situation like you do. So it sounds like, based on the introduction or what you said, that the Denver police aren't really there to help the homeless people. Is that?
Are they there to help anyone?
So what are the
No.
service? So I just want to know, what are the services that they say that they're offering? Because I want to give context to this. I want people to
Yeah,
understand
it's
why
a
you're
good
upset.
It's a great conversation because he has absolutely nothing to offer. His job is to go out there, run these people for warrants, and haul them to jail. Or go out there and be part of a sweep. We had sweeps all the time in Denver. They've somewhat slowed down since we got a new mayor. But under the previous mayor, we were having sweeps every few days. And there's a lawsuit settlement for Colorado that defines sweep parameters and notification of sweeps. It's pretty involved. Yeah.
So they're using a pretextual reason of safety and services to skirt the sweep law.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. So that's
exactly
what I want. Because there's usually okay. Thank you so much for that. That really gave context. Because I really want people to know why you're upset. Because otherwise they're not going to know why you're upset.
Right. And they're towing their homes. And you heard me ask him, so what services you offering to have them towed? Because when I'm not watching, they'll go out there and just snag their campers. We also have law that they have to follow where they go mark their campers and give them time to move and things like that. They don't want to follow those laws. So they just go out there when nobody's watching and say, oh, you don't have any license plates. Can't be out here. Oh, it's your home? Yeah, get out. We're taking it. Literally.
Oh, look it over here. So the American Texan is saying the police shouldn't be in charge of the homeless problem. How do you feel about that? Hold on. Looks like you got muted out somehow there. Your microphone's on mute. Your mic. So
put batteries in them things.
Yeah, poor thing. Because I know she's got a lot to say, and I'm really happy that he said that, because I don't think the police should be in charge of any kind of homeless enforcement either. I think that we should have less police and we should have more people who are reared up properly by their families, to where they're taught that they should help their fellow man regardless of what the government does.
I mean, shit, you would have thought about that back in 1983 when they came out with the movie Rambo.
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I'm glad you're back. So I wanted you to. Okay, I'm going to give you some, because I know that sucks when that happens. So let's get back on track. So American Texan saying he doesn't think that the police should be in charge of the homeless problem, and I wanted to see how you feel about that, being one that has to deal with the police and whatnot.
I've supported the police in removing themselves from solving homelessness, and they're too stupid to even recognize that. I've said to them numerous times in hundreds of videos that I have, why are you here? We don't need you here. We need resources. They are there to drum up crimes because people call and complain. This is what I'm talking about with this country being in trouble. They want the police to solve homelessness. There's no victim here. Get out of here. Go find a violent criminal. But no, it's this ego thing. It's this ego trip. And the more I would tell them, look, we don't need you here, the more they'd want to be there. And I've rallied around police departments and comments to city council. Remove the police from this issue, period. Look where we're at.
And also the nonprofits who are getting tax subsidies where they get these cushy jobs where they're making like $500,000 a year. You really think they want to end homelessness? I mean, that's a great job, right? Yeah, let's set up a foundation to end homelessness and get Gavin Newsom to send us a big check every month.
Yeah, and shuffle people all over the place.
Or what?
And just shuffle them all over.
Yeah, shuffle them everywhere. Like if you're,
and then complain about sanitation and provide none.
Like you go to Santa Monica, for example, in California, it's like a huge homeless encampment. It smells like urine everywhere, and the police are, they make arrests. It's almost like the prisons are the only ones who are doing okay out of this deal.
Absolutely, and these nonprofits that are heavily subsidized. We have one here, Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. It's a statewide nonprofit.
Yeah.
Their executive director makes over $400,000 a year.
Yeah, you gotta
and
be
she
kidding
came.
me.
And she came from Denver's government, where she oversaw housing, and it was a total failure there.
That's crazy. That's
Over
insane.
$400,000 a year. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna keep playing this because now we're at 24 minutes.
Yeah, it's
so
almost over.
let's do this.
Until you've turned into a fucking dick.
A fucking dick. Richard,
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, these are the same ones.
Could see through them though.
Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Why don't you just get back in the car there, feller?
feller.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you offering today?
Housing, addiction, shelter.
Where are those
Housing.
people that have those resources?
Housing
Such
at the
as
jail.
So what do you have? A list? Because I didn't hear you offer him any
Okay.
resources. I heard you question him.
Okay. Anything else I can help you with?
Yeah. Give us the skivvy on
Who's
the
us?
resources.
Who's us?
All of us out here, all of us
Okay.
advocates that want to know
The people.
what you guys have to offer
Well,
other than harassing the
when-
shit out of people.
We haven't been harassing anybody. So when you're done offering the resources, catch you later.
Yeah,
okay.
it's because you ain't got shit.
All right.
You're out here harassing
All right.
people.
You have a good one.
All right,
And
so it
that's
looks
that.
like. All right, so that's that video. Okay.
Catch
So that
me
kinda
outside.
sets
How
the
about
tone.
that?
Yeah.
That kind of sets the tone for what's coming up. This was like the next day or two.
Mhm.
I do live streams, they're long. And we're gonna go to about the last 10 minutes of this
Okay,
live
hold on.
stream.
Are
I'm
you
in
kidding?
Inglewood.
This was 10 minutes later.
So the last 10 of this video. Hold on, let me try to get this opened up here.
And O'Neill's gonna arrest me here.
Oh
Because-
no! Say it ain't so.
Yep. Yeah, imagine that. Because we have this thing in Denver, in all the police departments. You can't record in the public lobby of all DPD substations and the administration building.
Unconstitutional.
Okay. We don't have that anywhere else in this state. And no other departments are on that kind of mission. Okay. But Denver is. And they just want to double down. So I've already been arrested on a warrant that they concocted for recording in a substation where I was with others that were
Good job,
recording as
Ingram.
well. And none of them got arrested. None of them have a warrant. Only Regan got a warrant written by these detectives that were on a mission. And I got arrested, and the DA dropped the charges. And the charges were unlawful conduct on public property. Okay? So that case had already been dropped, done, dismissed, gone. And so they won't take the signs down. They've got these signs on the front door that say it's unlawful. And you may be subject to arrest. So they want to keep it arbitrary, right?
Is this it right here?
Back it up a little more.
Okay, hold on.
I
Because if
want-
I back it up more, it goes dark.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. Just like that. Just like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Just like that. Keep
Okay.
going.
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Doing it.
What she said.
Right there. There you go. That's good.
Okay, I'm going to turn the
So
sound on.
I'm
Is
over
anybody
at
curious
District
how the
3.
investigation is going? By the Attorney Regulation Council for having me investigated for the unauthorized practice of law.
Which is true.
No kidding.
Nope.
That's another show right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see me go in here.
This is
And I've
District
been
3, y'all. What do you think? Big, beautiful building. You digging it? Pretty fancy
Beautiful.
stuff, right? This is
Yeah.
a government building.
It's wild.
All fancy and stuff.
It's like the old Soviet Union.
Just remember, it's not our building; it's their building.
Basically.
This is not the location to obtain a police report. Oh.
So I've got a couple items of business that I want to take care of in here. I'm in the lobby, public lobby.
They have a big meeting room. Here it is, community room. Here you go. The moths are bad right now. See all those moths?
Man, what an amazing looking structure. Wow.
Yeah, it's all about the art and the glass.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
We're in the public lobby of the District 3 Denver Police Department.
And there's 6 of
Where
these.
Sergeant O'Neill resides. This is his home. This is Sergeant O'Neill's home. Here are your District 3 community resource officers.
So you're here filming in there, and they don't
There
like
you go.
that,
There's
right?
some public information for you.
Nobody says
Dealt
anything.
with her.
I've recorded in there before. It's all arbitrary. It just
She's,
depends on
pleasant and thorough.
Yeah.
what cop you get and how they feel.
Well, I'd say that's probably true.
I want to know where that. Here's their CAB meetings. This is the Commander Advisory Board meeting. I've been to one. I didn't stay. They're pretty worthless. And District 4 forbids me. They pulled some First Amendment violations on me over in District 4. Told me I was no longer allowed to attend their CAB meetings until further notice. And that was about almost 2 years ago. I'm still waiting to hear back on that.
Lawsuit.
Yeah. I
Current
should probably
lawsuit.
sue him for that. So where are we? June 7th is the next one here. Okay.
So I'm going to go to the window here
I doubt
shortly.
I'll come.
Okay. Just tell me if you need me to go fast forwarding or anything.
I think we're good here.
So they don't like it that you're filming
Hi.
in there, right?
So that program for registering your vehicle, what's that called? The Denver Track. So
Hey,
He's on duty.
You think that guy goes to the gym?
okay.
He's a cop
you.
on duty. We have law in Colorado that allows us to film the police.
And then do I do it here? I can register here, right? That's what they've been advertising, that you can just go into a district and do the registration.
Registered online. It says on there.
You have
Are
to
you
do it
recording
online.
on your phone?
I'm sorry.
Are you recording on your
Am
phone?
I recording?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to record in the.
Oh, sure I am.
No, you're not. It's posted right
No, I
there.
can record. A sign doesn't make it law. You know that,
Yes,
right?
it is.
No, it isn't.
Okay, man. Well,
So-
hang tight for me then. I'll be back.
What's that?
Hang tight for me. I'll be back.
Okay. Do you have any stickers? Oh, they're
I don't
going to
think-
make an issue
I
out
don't
of
think he wants to help
recording in
you.
the lobby because there's a sign.
Who do you think's
Oh,
coming out?
boy. Here we
Who do you think he's
go.
back there getting? Who do you think he's back there calling?
The
Here
golden
we
handcuff
go.
crew.
You can fast forward a little bit.
All right. Tell me, just tell me when to stop. Going black right now.
There. Keep going.
There you are. There you are. Doing your pamphlet thing. It looks like you got your trifold open there.
Let it play.
Let it play
Let it
now.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what an ass. He just got up and walked away.
That was kind of mean. He really is upset that you were filming. Do you have any
Yeah, where's
images
the
of
sign
the
that
sign?
says no getting Ingraham upset?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Ingram? Is it Ingram?
It must be siblings or
Russell
something.
Ingram.
His name's Ingram. This kid that's working the window.
Oh, you
Oh.
didn't catch the CRS?
Do you have an image of the sign?
It's a
Is there an image?
disorderly. They want to try to get you, hem you up for disorderly.
Is there what?
conduct.
Is there an image of the sign that says that there's no video?
Who's coming? Why don't you just finish helping me?
No, is there
They
a
have a
video?
sign. Well, that was the sign. They're,
Okay, but where
they're
does-
citing the statute.
But where does it say no filming? I didn't see that.
Oh, when you walk in the front door, it says no audio or video recording.
He's
You
got
may
somebody
be
coming.
arrested.
Because he's too
Okay.
afraid to help me.
So they have a local ordinance or statute that says you can't film.
No, they're using state law.
Oh, there's a state law that says you can't film.
No, there's not. It has nothing to do with recording. It has all
Are
of
they
these
bringing
things
out
about
these folks to arrest me?
unlawful conduct on public
Hi.
property.
You
Here
got
we
to be
go.
kidding me.
It is unlawful as the law told you to record in the district.
Look who it is.
Look, it's
You got to be
O'Neill.
kidding me.
Yep. So let's look at the sign right here.
Hi. Hi. What you coming up behind me for?
Pigtail.
Why y'all coming up behind me?
You are subject to arrest. You don't
Okay,
turn
I
off
want to
the
see
phone.
that sign. I want to read that
If I
sign.
don't turn off my phone, I'm going to
I'm
jail.
not gonna tell you again.
Okay, O'Neill. Are you aware that
Boom, you grabbed me.
Okay.
Good job, Ingram.
So
I've
that's
already
the
been
arrest
charged
right
with this.
there.
It's been dismissed.
So hold on a minute. So really quick. So basically what's going on here is you were in there and apparently there's a sign somewhere that says no filming,
It says no video or
Audio.
audio recording.
and that's based on a vague and ambiguous state law that they're interpreting, and then they're putting that on a sign. But that's not what the state law says. Correct? So what is that state law? Do you have that? Because I'd like to look it
Well,
up.
yeah, it was just in the video. After we finish watching it, you can see it.
Okay, fair enough. But there's actually a state law that's in the video. It shows you what the state law is, but the state law does not mirror what it says on the actual signage that says you can't video or audio record. Okay. So,
That's
but they're using
absolutely-
they're using that as a pretext to prevent you. Now, I just want my audience to know that there are time, place, and manner restrictions that can lawfully be placed on public buildings. They're not traditional public forums. So in this case, it looks like there is not a local statute ordinance or state or whatever ordinance that's directly on point. So it looks as though the local cities or counties have adapted sort of their own interpretation of a law that's not actually in the law, sort of like these administrative agencies do with gun rights legislation and stuff, right? The ATF, they'll just interpret something that Congress never said and say that's what the law is. Sounds very similar, right? Where they're creating sort of administrative agency made law. And that's going to actually an issue that's going to be heard by the U.S. Supreme Court coming up, I think, in the next session that I want everybody to be looking out for. BZWatchdog and I will provide some links to you guys so you can see a little bit more about it. Because I think it's important that our laws not only be passed, but be written by Congress and not by a bunch of administrative agencies who have revolving door employment with big corporations. I think that's a real problem and it needs to stop. And I'm sure that Regan feels the same way based
I'll
on
be
her
going to
body
trial.
language. Yeah.
I'll be going to trial here in a couple weeks on this arrest. We're prepared to lose, and we're prepared to appeal. We're waiting on the judge to rule on a motion, a constitutional motion that my attorney argued. And I'm finding it a little bizarre that I haven't heard why she hasn't ruled on it. We're going to trial in less than 2 weeks. So maybe there's some good stuff going on. I doubt it, but and the plea offer was on this arrest, go to jail, go straight to jail for 5 days.
Yeah. Well, that's not something that I would wish on my worst enemy. I mean, going to jail is a terrible thing. And if, especially like if you were my mom or my sister, I would be absolutely not.
My husband is really tired of me going to jail. I'll be real honest with you. This is bold to say. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of jail.
I know. I can see that. You're a brave person.
Well, she's not
And
afraid
every
of jail.
time-
She's in jail. Look at the bars.
And every single time I go in that jail, it's a new complaint because they are doing people wrong. I think they're getting sick of me in that Denver jail. I don't know, maybe not. But every time I go in there, it's like I'm supposed to be there. There is some horrible shit going on in these jails. That's another whole conversation.
Especially private prisons too. Even worse.
I mean, Denver is their own city and county. Okay. And their sheriff is appointed as well.
Wow. No kidding.
Yep. It's a weird thing. We're a local control state anyway. But there's only 2 city and counties in the state of Colorado, Denver and Broomfield. And Denver is a beast, as you can imagine. I mean, these DPD alone settled $18 million in lawsuits last year. That doesn't include the sheriff's department. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff and a lot of things about Denver that people don't know. And we do not have enough eyes on the cops out here. We do not. People are afraid.
So you've got a crew of 3 and it's still not even enough.
No, not even close. 3, 2, maybe for luck.
So Regan, in this last arrest here, you were jailed for how many days on this one?
This one, they get me in and out of there pretty quick. It was like 2 days, day and a half, something like that.
Did you post a bond? Or I mean, am I free to ask? I mean, you don't have to.
Absolutely. That's all. It's all public information anyway. Yeah, it was a PR bond before I even got there, and they still held me, and made me go see a judge anyway.
Yeah,
they love those games, right? They love them. And then they deny you all your rights in there. Every time I go to the Denver jail, they make you sign this piece of paper that says I've been given a hard copy of my inmate handbook.
Yeah.
That time I refused to sign it because I filed 3 complaints on this issue, and they're not hearing me on this because you still have rights the second you walk in that jail, and you need to know what they are. And when you're signing a piece of paper that says I've been given an option for a hard copy of my handbook, and you ask for that inmate handbook, they're like, it's on the kiosk. You can get on the kiosk when you get up to your pod. No, that's not how this works. And so what do? They throw me in a isolation cell. You see?
Yeah.
But every time I go in there, I just up it a little bit more. You know what? You want to beat the shit out of me? Do it. I'm not gonna stop advocating for my rights. And this man here, you know how many homeless people are in that damn jail at one time? That's the reason I want to go to jail. I want to help these people. You should see the state of what is going on in that Denver jail. It's
I can feel your passion for these people. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
They don't know. They don't understand. They're incapable. They can't. And for me to have to go out there and maintain composure. People are constantly trying to educate me on how to make your channel bigger and better. You can't cuss. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, I disagree with all that. I think that you got to just be who you are, and you're going to get a good following. It's not just about how many subscribers you have; it's who are loyal, who can help. Who are going to stick around, just like real friends, right? So that's better.
Yeah, 100%. It's relationship building.
I think you got a better quality subscriber. So I'm really impressed with that you're willing to go to jail for what you believe in. But it sounds like, based on what I saw, there's plausible arguments that law enforcement can make that was a valid arrest. But what I take issue with for sure is the post-arrest treatment. And that really always makes me upset about how they treat people in jail. And I don't think that the jailers, I think they become cynical, and I think that they begin to treat these prisoners like human trash. And I think it creates a lot of hate in people who have, because there's like what they call 6 degrees or 10 degrees of separation. Every one of those people who got out and was hurt in jail or abused by the jailers or the prison system, they're telling their families, and their families tell their other family members and friends, and they develop a hate for these peace officers and law enforcement officers. And that's the exact thing that we want to avoid. And I think that the prison system in general needs to be reformed away from this for-profit system, which I think prisons are. And I know you got a lot more ideas than I do. I'm just telling you, I'm in agreement with what you're doing, and I'm really impressed. Now,
Mike,
I want to get back on this video.
Germany's a good example, man.
Yes.
I talked to somebody who was from Germany, and he told me that unless you commit like a violent, heinous crime, you don't get locked up. You get like a summons to appear before a court. Your really innocence is actually there until proven guilty here.
Well, that's something that I want to talk about, guys. We're at 44 minutes in, and I want to go over this video with you. I want to real quick, if you can, Regan, tell me where you want me to go on this one. We're at 1 hour and 43 minutes in on this one.
Well, if you want to play the rest of the arrest, I mean, it's just that woman putting her hands all over me cussing her out.
Just to give some context, right?
Did that fucker turn it off?
I don't know. So I'm leaving. I'll call Bo. I'll see ya.
And you can tell us what's going on too, Regan.
Yeah, so they're hauling me in the back. That woman dropped my necklace. I had a really
All
special
right.
necklace on that day.
Well, Regan just
This
got
friend
arrested.
of mine,
That motherfucking O'Neill. That son of a bitch. That piece of shit.
you can end it.
She is absolute.
I'm going to go ahead and stop this one.
She's another advocate. She's another advocate. She was watching the live stream. I'm glad she was there. She came, took my necklace and all my property except for my license. To sum up O'Neill, before we go to this next video, if we have time for this, he arrested me again 10 days later. 10 days later, I went to one of those cab meetings and I walked in that same building, recording, walked through the lobby into that room where we saw that I first went in, when I first went in during a public meeting, walked to the back of the room. He was standing there. He said, "Don't go anywhere." I said, "What's your deal, O'Neill?" I got to turn my body cam on. Turned his body cam on, arrested me. He drummed up a warrant from 6 weeks prior where we had interaction out on the streets when he was stealing someone's home. He'd put up crime scene tape because that's what they do. That's what they do for me every time. The wind was blowing like 50 miles an hour. The crime scene tape kept blowing down. And I just bantered him for an hour straight about how stupid he was, that he couldn't tie a knot. And it pissed him off.
So O'Neill doesn't like you, and probably the judges don't either, or the jailers. And so they're all giving you a hard time. And you're just out there thinking that you're doing what's right for the public.
Pretty much.
And they're mistreating you. They're mistreating you. They're not being impartial, which, that's the thing I always try to tell people is cops have a human element to them, and they do get cynical, especially the jailers. So I just want people to be aware of that. When you want to be a freedom fighter, like you want to be a William Wallace, and you really are like that, you're that guy or that gal, that is something you'll have to be ready for. It's like, if you're going to be a Navy SEAL, you better be ready to go through BUDS training. You better be ready for the shin splints, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or Delta, whatever you're going to do.
I say it all the time. I say that all the time, Michael. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will be going to jail. And the mouthier you are, women, we're already behind the 8 ball out here because you just don't disrespect these men with these fragile egos. And I've got, a couple federal lawsuits right now where the cops admit that Regan's vile and vulgar. But within her rights to do so. And they just can't control their idiots. And the best thing to do to avoid me is don't fucking talk to me. Don't screw with my people and go find something else to do.
Yeah. And, going to jail, guys, it's before we start on the video again, going to jail is one of the worst experiences any human can face. And you sometimes you lose your job during that time period. You could lose wives, kids, family. You could lose everything. Even just a couple months in jail destroys your ability to survive. And if for a non-violent crime or infraction or something like that, there's got to be a better way. I'm just telling you guys, there's got to be a better way. If there's mental health issues, I do agree we got to come up with something. But this is not the right way. Give me a bunch of 1s if you agree with me. Give me a bunch of 2s if you're a tyrant. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put this. I want to cue this up.
I was laughing at Wanda Mize's comment about go.
Hold on. Let me say that again.
Wanda Mize says go raid a donut shop.
Hold on. Let me find that. Go. I'm trying to find it.
It's right below "We Don't Stop" by Miss Constitutional Rights.
That's too far away, but I did find Brick Jonesy. Thanks, Brick. All right, I'm going Team Regan for the win. Yeah, hoorah! Hoorah!
I voted for myself.
All right, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and get this.
It's below all those comments you're putting up right now.
I'm going to play this, but Regan, I need you to be my director. All right.
Yeah, the context here, and I don't know how much time we have. I mean, this is another interesting video. This cop out in Aurora, Colorado. I stay out of Aurora. Okay.
Yeah.
But some homeless folks called me out there. They're living in their vehicle. They're having all kinds of car trouble. And they're in a park next to this King Soopers. And this is their survival, their vehicle with their animals inside their vehicle and the grocery store and a bathroom in the park. Okay. Their car's like overheating. It's a mess. They can't, their tires, the rim is broke. They're like, we are being harassed to no end by this cop and we just need help getting groceries. And so I even went as far as trying to work through this with Aurora PD. I filed a complaint. I told the woman to file a complaint. It's this man and woman living in the car, husband and wife. And they lied to me. They weren't handling the complaint. Gee, go figure. Right. This stupid lieutenant tells me that this Officer Sloan is on vacation and that he's not going to be able to interview him until he gets back. But essentially what Sloan did was told Crystal and Jeremy that they could not come to King Soopers anymore for groceries. And they called me out of desperation. We can't even make it to another grocery store. So I went out there, took them into the grocery store. The nonprofit, all my wonderful donors, we bought them $170 worth of groceries and animal food. And we leave that King Soopers, and here comes Sloan. Check this guy out. And he arrested me at the end of the video. Okay. So you can start it from the beginning. Okay, you can fast forward through any parts that you want.
Roll that bean footage.
I'm gonna let me just figure out how to get this thing started here. It looks like, oh man, what the heck's going on? It's on.
You're a scumbag. You have a all the other. Take it easy. Take it easy. No, you don't get my phone.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead.
By the way, that video edited by Denver Metro Audits.
That was badass, by the way.
I lied to. You're C-slow.
What? By the way, hold on, everybody. Put it in the comments if you think that was badass. I'm going to replay that. That was really good.
That's all Denver Metro Audits.
Denver Metro Audits did this beginning. I'm going to play this back. This was really good, guys. Give me a bunch of ones if you think this was well done the way that Denver Metro Audit set up this video.
You're a scumbag. You have a problem with the homeless and you treat them poorly. You don't. You targeted Crystal and Jeremy and they need to eat. And you don't want them here while you allow all the other homeless folks to live in the parking lot. You're a maniac, dude. Don't you touch my camera. Take it easy. Take it easy. No, you don't get my phone.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead.
That was sick. That was sick. Okay, I'm going to keep playing it. Okay, Regan? You can just like dictate, narrate.
Okay.
Trespassing for what?
So you're not gone. I lied to. You're C-slow.
For what? For what? I didn't commit no crime.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you
Please
doing?
step back, please.
No.
You're obstructing the investigation.
I'm obstructing?
Yes, please step back.
I don't want that, man. You gave me an illegal ticket. You gave me an illegal ticket.
Okay, I'm not
I don't need that.
Okay.
You illegal.
Don't come back to this parking lot, please.
Excuse me?
Don't come back to
You're
this
gonna
parking
move
lot.
me?
No,
You're gonna
Jeremy.
move me?
Jeremy, that's all right.
Huh?
Why don't you leave?
You're gonna move me?
Why don't you
Please,
leave?
Come on, Minnie Mouse.
Ma'am,
Why don't you
please
leave?
step
Hey,
back,
grab your
please.
daughter.
Why don't you leave? These people need groceries.
They can go somewhere else, ma'am.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
I'm here to
How
help
come you
them.
ain't out here telling these people to leave?
Yeah.
Huh? How come you ain't telling them to leave?
Ma'am, if you
How
follow
come
me,
you
I'm
ain't
gonna
telling them to leave?
If I follow
Huh?
you, you're gonna
How
arrest
come
me.
you ain't telling them to leave?
That's not gonna go
How come
well for
ain't
you.
telling them to leave? Huh?
If I follow you, you're gonna arrest
Yes,
me
ma'am.
for
That's
what?
That's harassment. Please step
Harassment? You're wrong.
Please step around.
You're wrong. Give me
Okay.
your card.
Okay.
Give me your card.
I'd love to.
Because you're in IA, and now you're going
Okay.
back.
Tell him I said hi.
Tell him you said hi. They fucking lied to me and told me you were gone.
Wait, hold on a minute. So give us some context. Okay. Internal Affairs is IA, correct? And you
Correct.
know that this officer is under or was under an IA investigation Tell us the rest.
So his lieutenant told me, you know, I'll finish up this investigation, because my question to this lieutenant was, can these poor people go to the grocery store and get food so they can survive? I said, I want to know if they're actually trespassed. Were they trespassed by the cop? Because the cop, Sloan, here just kept telling them, you can't come to this grocery store. The grocery store, the property owner, nobody ever told them they were trespassing or that they couldn't shop in King Soopers. You see, Sloan had a problem with Jeremy. You saw Jeremy in the driver's seat. This kid was standing his ground, and he and Sloan had already had words out in the parking lot. I don't know. He said they had complaints, and so they couldn't come to that grocery store anymore. But he never officially charged them with anything. But this day he did. You know what they were doing? They were waiting to be able to charge Jeremy with trespassing and actually serve them with a trespass notice, because I had filed a complaint, because he was busted. Sloan was busted because they had body cam footage where he was harassing them. Crystal, the wife, had video of Sloan harassing them, and they needed something to solidify it. So here's how they did it.
Okay. So do you want me to keep playing here? Do you want me to? Okay. Is there any sections? Because we're down to probably like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Okay. So he tells me if I follow him into the grocery store, I'm going to be arrested. I'm walking next to him, and he's telling me, you're harassing me.
She's walking the little doggy.
Take it.
But you can fast forward it.
You didn't have the fucking owner here to tell us to leave.
How fast? How far?
Just pick a spot there towards the end. Let's see. I keep going. I'm being arrested right there. Play that. Guess what? My phone didn't get shut off. This is one of those videos.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm in the jail.
Okay.
Now I'm in the jail.
I'm like a
You're actually inside the jail.
55-year-old male, and I can't deal with this woman.
And Sloan is sitting next to me.
She's being
He
so
doesn't know how to
mean.
log into the computer.
Those folks in the car today.
That you retaliated against.
He's on the phone right now
From the parking lot.
because I told him to get a
No,
supervisor.
it was only Jeremy, not those
She was
folks.
there. She tried to
course I
obstruct
was
with the
there.
investigation. I able to serve a summons to the people in the car. I walked away.
That's that summons you
Tell
were
him I
talking
took him
about.
shopping in there, and you fucking hid in the store like a little,
So
and then ambushed us. Tell him that part.
it's going to be really entertaining for you to watch. Okay.
Entertaining.
I will let her know.
Entertaining.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Is he down? Is he on his way down here? Huh? Hold on for what? While you still figure out how to log into the computer?
This guy's an idiot.
Is there anywhere else you want me to go on
Of
this?
course he is, because he lied to me.
You can fast forward that.
In the IA
Ultimately,
enough, then, have you?
This is a great.
Being
It's just a,
confrontational with Jeremy.
What's that?
it's just a great compilation that DMA put together here of this live stream that lasted the whole time, right? So Sloan called for another cop. That guy comes, gloves up, arrests me. I told him, I said, don't you touch my
Do you know
phone.
what that
And he
kid
didn't.
did for you?
And
He blew up in a fucking Humvee.
that
For
video
you.
played the whole time. We drove to the jail.
Did you ever
The whole
take note
time
of that?
Sloan was trying to process me.
I just put the link also in the sidebar so people can go and look at it.
Perfect.
And by the way, everybody,
No wonder
I'm just going to stop it because people like looking at pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a
how
lot.
it
It's
is.
just a lot of audio. But ultimately,
lot
in the end, I was in and out of there. I had one court appearance there. He charged me with harassment and obstruction. I made one court appearance. Hired an attorney, brought him in. He made one court appearance. They called him and said, "Yeah, we don't want to pursue this. Case dismissed."
Wow. Okay. So
Unreal.
that was crazy. And clearly that was, there were some things there that we should analyze more closely in another show. Now I have this last video. Is there anywhere you want me to go on this Englewood video?
That was it. We've looked at the 3 videos.
Okay. So we've got,
That was the hour and 49-minute live stream, which ultimately at the end, I was in Denver, and that's when O'Neill arrested me for recording.
Okay, now everybody, if you go into the description of today's show, I have those 3 links, and I also have her channel in there as well as BZWatchdog. So make sure that you guys subscribe to everybody and subscribe to BZWatchdog. And BZ, do you have anything you want to say to the audience about what's coming up this week or anything you have planned?
We got DMA coming on tomorrow night. You've got, I believe you've got what is it? The cop guy. What's his name? American Texan.
Yeah, Friday, American Texan, a retired officer's coming on to tell us his observations of Chili's arrest.
We've got good old Manuel Mata coming on Saturday. I locked him in last night. I talked to him. He also live streamed a little while ago. He's out there beating the rap and harassing the police. And then we've got Flex Your Freedoms, a.k.a. Grandma, a.k.a. Lipstick Boy. And if anybody's seen his latest video, he's gone undercover as a Muslim woman, a.k.a. as Grandma. So, but we've got definitely a decent lineup to finish off the week strong. And also, before Flex Your Freedoms, I believe you have another live cast, your live stream you're doing, Mike, with Bernadette.
Yes. Yeah, so I do. I do lawyer SEO, like organic SEO and local search, and I have other companies who are other friends of mine who have companies, and I help them with my platform because a lot of my friends are lawyers and also watch our show who need help with their websites and stuff. So it doesn't really apply to what we're doing here. But if you guys want to come and learn about local citations, local SEO. One of my dear friends who passed away during COVID, Bill Slosky, he was a lawyer who used to interpret the Google patents, and him and I sometimes would interpret patents together, and we became good buddies. And so I still like to look at Google's patents and interpret them. So if anybody's interested in stuff like that who wants to learn about search engine marketing, you're more than welcome to show up, but it's definitely not required. I want to thank Regan for coming on, and unless BZO has anything else to say or Regan has anything else to say, we can close it up.
Just don't be a Richard.
All right. Yeah, don't be a Richard. So with that being said, everybody, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save because you never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. So, everybody join us for the next session. We're trying to keep you busy and informed about different events so you can understand the law and know your rights so you know how to keep the law well. And be safe out there, everybody. Don't get yourself hurt. And Semper Fidelis.